And speaking of which, Joe Biden finally announced he was going to visit fire-ravaged Maui after ignoring reporters' questions on it just days ago while on vacation in Delaware. Now, I want to quickly remind you all about something. Senator Ted Cruz flew to Cancun during a winter storm that left much of his state without power or water. He quickly realized that that was a mistake and he came back. But it was a days-long news cycle, and he's still hearing about it. And Biden's dismissal of an unfolding tragedy in Hawaii, barely a blip for, of course, the Trump-obsessed media. Now, here's what they're missing. There are now reports that the death toll will not just rise in Maui, but will tragically include scores of children who were kept home because power outages forced schools to close. Joining us now, Tulsi Gabbard, former Hawaii Congresswoman and a Fox News contributor. Tulsi, you just got back from Maui. Please tell us what you saw there. This is so heartbreaking for all Americans to see.
Yeah, Laura, it's difficult to put into words this tragic loss that continues to grow, that we're continuing to see and experience and feel every time there are more and more names and numbers of our friends and neighbors in Lahaina who have perished because of this wildfire. Now, there's still over 1,000 people who are missing. There's still the vast majority of that area of devastation that needs to be gone through by those who are that are conducting this recovery operation. But I also want to speak to the many families who live in the communities surrounding Lahaina, just north of that historic town, who are continuing to struggle. Many of them did not have power for days. They were told the water was contaminated, having to shower and bathe their children with bottled water, cut off from communication. The cell phone towers were down. They had no Wi-Fi or internet connectivity. These are people who stood up in the midst of this tragedy and did everything they could to help each other. The sad part is we are 8 days past this wildfire, and I'm in constant touch with these community members and leaders. They are still not seeing response from the county, the state, the federal government to be able to go out and help them. The community support hubs that they have are 100% community-led, volunteer supply collections, conducting all of these coordinations on their own. They feel like the government doesn't care about them, and that's a horrible disservice to people who have gone through a kind of loss that we can't even imagine.
No, I mean, we have a lot of commitments around the globe, and we're not getting into politics here, but you know, we do spend billions and billions of dollars and allocate it to, you know, other countries' issues and problems. And this is when we realize you have to, you know, put your own oxygen mask on first before you can really help others. And these people need help. They need help now, not you know, a week from now.
That's exactly right. When you think about, you know, there's a woman named Andrea. She's a mom, stay-at-home mom raising her kids. She has stepped up and spent every day and night trying to be a coordinator to get the supplies that volunteers are trying to bring in, and oftentimes having to circumvent blockades put in place by the county just to get those supplies to them, to get them to where they need. Not only are they not getting the support that they need, but oftentimes they have been getting blocked from being able to receive the support from their friends and neighbors. This is a crisis that is continuing on. It is not at all lost on the people of West Maui when they're told that FEMA is going to give those impacted a one-time $700 payment. And as they look at the news, they're seeing tens of more millions of dollars being sent to Ukraine. Some of them said, hey, maybe if we just change the name of Maui to Ukraine, maybe then they'll pay attention to us.
No, Tulsi, and I know all the breaking news tonight about the background of the chief emergency response coordinator. Didn't have a lot of experience in these types of situations. The sirens apparently weren't working as they should have for this type of event, fire event, and all of this we'll get to the bottom of. But Tulsi, thank you. Thank you for your report.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.